It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
And hey, let's talk some sports. It is Tuesday, December 6th, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox 2 News app. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
What's up, brother?
You?
It's just traveling right now, man. Like setting up trips right now. That's what December is. Now the COVID's kind of subsided, gone by the wayside. Now people are traveling again for the holidays. So I'm going to the New York Jets, Detroit Lions game on the 18th, and I'm going to the Michigan game, the Fiesta Bowl against TCU from the 30th to the 1st. So just doing a little bit of traveling, trying to get back out there and enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? I love Michigan, I love Detroit, but damn it, I love being outside of it as well.
I was talking to Braylon about this prior to the show, Tom Mazawey. Good afternoon to you.
Hey, fellas. Another great day.
What's going on, man?
Everybody wants Braylon Edwards around. They want him around in Indy to talk to the fans.
We want him more.
We want him here. They want him here on Saturday for the party. They want him in New York for the Jets game. Talk to fans there and show him off there. They want him in Arizona for the Fiesta Bowl. Put Braylon Edwards on display. You are always better when Braylon Edwards is around. So it's not surprising that you are doing all this traveling because everybody wants you at their event. Everybody wants you at their game. Everybody wants you to mingle with their fans. Everybody wants you everywhere.
I appreciate you and I love you.
And I want you.
And
I want you around here.
That if we're starting up the show like this, you and I are destined to battle today. I just know it's in there somewhere.
It's coming.
If all this is coming at the beginning, somewhere it's destined to be a battle at the end.
You know it is coming, but the opposite of battling is relaxing. And Tom Mazawey, did I hear that you were at Macomb Mall yesterday in the chair massage?
I was. In between stores, you got to sneak right by Kohl's. In between Kohl's and Shoe Carnival.
Oh, my God.
Is a little secret place that you get the best massages, like a shiatsu massage. You can get a chair massage where you're just lay on this chair, head down that way, and your legs are up on your knees basically on this bench, like a workbench.
So the funny thing about that is when Ryan and I were dating, your favorite, my ex, when she and I were dating, like she loved those massages at the mall. You know, I come from the NFL where like when you say massage, I'm thinking of massage specialist. You really get in there, the elbow to get deep. It's 2 hours.
Same.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking like a real actual. When you get up off the table, you feel like you've been through a workout.
Absolutely.
You're sweating. That's why they recommend the water. Like, she would go to this spot in the mall that you're talking about, the little mall massage. I'm like, what the hell is this? I went to one of those one time, Briarwood Mall, in Ann Arbor, and it was just so painful. I said, how do people live through this?
I'm in pain.
I'm telling you, yes,
I
it's
can't
so
touch
painful.
the base of my neck and head. I can't touch it.
Punches.
Can you just imagine? Can you just imagine, Maz, if one of those Drew and Mike people were walking by?
They would have taken pictures.
I mean, they would have taken video. They would have taken pictures because you have become a little bit of a caricature in that realm.
They would just go live.
You think?
They would just go on Instagram Live, like we're live here at Oakland Mall. Look who we run into.
Oh my gosh, that is so great.
I'm always afraid of being caught by them, no matter where I go. Oh, look at Maz at National Coney Island.
Take a picture mid-bite.
Look at him assaulting another buffet.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
Is that something?
That's tough.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing but the best for me.
Anywho, gang, we got a great show for you today. As always, as he does each and every Tuesday, Fox 2 Sports Director and the voice of the Lions on the radio, Dan Miller, is going to join us. Those Lions are as hot as anybody in the National Football League right now. They're absolutely
have not
hot.
Lost on a Sunday in a month.
They have
if you think
not.
about it, they played on Thanksgiving.
Look at you. That is incredible.
Shout out to Nick Leach for that stat. That was on Nick Leach.
That is a very good statistic there. So we'll talk to Dan coming up in about an hour and 5 minutes if you are not watching live. That's about 3:10 if you are watching live. Otherwise, about an hour and 5 minutes from now, we'll talk to Dan Miller. I do want to start, though, with college football, and that is the Heisman Trophy finalists that have been named last night. And the Heisman Trophy finalists this year, 4 quarterbacks: C.J. Stroud, Caleb Williams, Max Duggan from TCU, who the Wolverines will see, and Stetson Bennett. By the way, they are the 3 quarterbacks of the 4 playoff teams this year, if you didn't notice. And that is why, remember last year with the hot take, I said that Aiden Hutchinson was going to be a Heisman finalist last year, because basically what they do is they take the best player off the team from one of the playoff teams. Now, I don't think Stetson Bennett is. I'm surprised the defensive lineman isn't.
Isn't there an age gap?
Name the finalist there. What's that?
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter. Thank you very much. Surprised Jalen Carter isn't a finalist, but this has become a quarterback award, Braylon. It has. I think there's been 2 running backs that have won the award in the last 25 years.
Derrick Henry,
3.
Mark Ingram.
Yeah, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram. In the last, since 2000.
Yeah.
And Reggie Bush, I guess.
Yes, so that's 3.
By
the way, today's the anniversary of Archie Griffin's second Heisman Trophy win, way back when into the 70s.
Look at that.
Back to backer.
I guess what I'm trying to tell you guys is there has been an uproar of people out there that are outraged that Blake Corum was not named a Heisman Trophy finalist. And guys, you know I love Michigan.
I did not tell you we were going to fight.
Listen, you know I love Michigan. I bleed maize and blue. And you know I love Blake Corum.
Right.
But he does not deserve to be a Heisman finalist. I said it.
That's blasphemous.
Blake Corum does not deserve to be up there.
That's blasphemous.
And I'll tell you why, Braylon. If Kenneth Walker wasn't in New York last year, Blake Corum does not deserve to be in New York this year. Let me see the stats, Fletch, if you could.
Show me the stats.
Because I've got a comparison of these 2 guys. Blake Corum on the left, Kenneth Walker on the right. 1,636 yards. That's more than Blake Corum. They have the same amount of touchdowns, and a 6.2 average is a little bit more for Kenneth Walker. Now, Blake Corum has had a 100-yard rushing game in each and every Big Ten game this year, aside from the Ohio State game, in which obviously he did not play. Last year, Kenneth Walker, in 6 of 9 Big Ten games, had over 100 yards rushing. You will look at, and people will point to, the weak schedule that Michigan has played, to no fault of Blake Corum's, but he needed to play in that Ohio State game, and even he needed to play in the second half of that Illinois game. I just believe if Kenneth Walker wasn't a Heisman finalist, Blake Corum shouldn't be either. I needed to see him play against Ohio State. I am fine with it. Now, I don't think that the 4 quarterbacks are the best 4 players in America, but I'm fine with Blake Corum not being there.
Yeah, I disagree with you. You're absolutely wrong. And maybe it's because you're wearing that green on right now that you want to side with Michigan State. So
I thought that was Christmas green.
That's East Lansing green after those comments. I'm going to tell you like this. When you look at Blake Corum and you look at him versus Kenneth Walker, how many yards did he have against Purdue in that loss? How many yards did he have against Ohio State last year?
25.
Oh, and he was injured. And he was allegedly injured. So let's give him that. How many yards did he have against Western Kentucky last year? How many yards did he have? See, I know the games where he struggled last year, and there was no reason for struggle. If you want to go to the Heisman final, if you want to go to New York, if you want to go to the downtown athletic club, you got to ball in every game. You got to especially ball in the big games. The big games for Michigan State last year, I'm sorry. I felt like I was doing that all game looking for Kenneth Walker, with the exception of the Michigan game, which he had a tremendous game, and I will give him that. You look at Blake Corum, everything Michigan did on offense ran through one person, Blake Corum. Every game this year ran through Blake Corum. It wasn't Cade McNamara, it wasn't J.J. McCarthy, it wasn't Ronnie Bell, it wasn't Schoonmaker, it wasn't Loveland. What's up, brother? I see you. Don't worry, your hat's looking okay. It wasn't any of those individuals. It was Blake Corum. How many times did Blake Corum split time with Donovan Edwards just because they were playing less than ethical teams? He's splitting time and still getting 1,463 yards, 18 touchdowns, 5.8 a carry. This is the guy that Michigan put everything on his back to carry them to where they are right now. Granted, he didn't play in an Ohio State game, and Donovan Edwards came up for them huge in that game. That would have been a big moment for Blake Corum, and then obviously the Purdue game would have been a big moment for them as well. But they are in those games because of number 2. They played in that Ohio State game for something because of number 2. They were playing in Indianapolis against Purdue for something, and you heard Donovan Edwards at the press conference, best running back,
I did.
Best player.
Great.
It's 100%. Now, I'm not saying, Ryan Ermanni, that he should go to New York and win, because he absolutely should not be Caleb Williams or C.J. Stroud or Max Duggan for that matter. He shouldn't beat him, but he should be allowed a seat there based off what he did this year. Seat and not necessarily win.
And I will say, Braylon, I think he would have gotten that seat and deserved to get that seat if he didn't get hurt.
He would have won it if he didn't get hurt.
Perhaps. But the problem that I have with it is he did get hurt. In a game and a half, pretty much the 2 toughest games that Michigan has had on the schedule is Ohio State, and that Illinois rush defense was as good as any. And he did have over 100 yards in that game, but he didn't play in the second half when his team did need him. His team did struggle. If they had Blake Corum, and if he played against Ohio State, I do think he would have been in New York, and he should have been. And you're right, he probably would have won it, a 13-0 Michigan team with a dominating performance against the Buckeyes. But the problem is he didn't. So his numbers are what they are. And in a season where the Big Ten is as bad as any conference, especially Power 5, but I mean, you can look at it up and down the row. The Big Ten Conference is really bad this year. I just think you need extraordinary numbers, and Blake Corum just didn't have those extraordinary numbers this year.
He missed 2 games. Like, He's essentially missed 2.5 games, and he's already damn near 1,500, 18 touchdowns.
I get it.
Like, if you look at every game this year, Ryan Ermanni, the Michigan Wolverines are a second half team. Who does that second half go to? It goes to Blake Corum, whether it's at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa, whether it's against Illinois, which, he, like you said, he didn't play as much in the second half, whether it's the Maryland game that they struggle, whether it's the Indiana game that they struggle. Let's not forget all of these almost losses. Let's not forget all of these moments where Michigan really needed a guy to trust, a guy to give the ball to, a guy to put their shoulder up, a guy to put everything on the shoulder. That was Blake Corum. So once again, I stand by the fact that Blake Corum, for his body of work, and you look at ultimately, look at where Michigan is, and it's because of Blake Corum. He deserves to be in New York. Didn't say he deserves to win because he doesn't, but he deserves to be there, especially if you're going to have 4 guys there. Nobody even gave Stetson Bennett a look until you had nobody else to go to. Blake Corum deserves that spot.
That's Corum's spot.
I want Maz you to weigh in on this. Next, we'll get some people going in the chat as well. The chat pretty fired up about this. Am I totally off base here? I think you got to play against Ohio State in order to have a seat in New York. He did not do that, so I am not up in arms with Blake Corum not being a Heisman finalist. We'll talk more about this, and are you okay with this just simply being the Davey O'Brien Award for the best quarterback? I mean, that's all it is. I mean, come on. That part is ridiculous.
I agree with that.
We'll talk more about it next, but first a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 freaking years. Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what is important to you stays safe. Call that number right now, 1-800-STAY-OUT for peace of mind. 1-800-STAY-OUT. Let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff-A Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward and Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff-A Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in Downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hey everybody, it's Maz for Big Boy. We are going to be live at Big Boy in Wyandotte tomorrow. All 3 of our shows, the heavyweights are going to be here, but the rest of the shows will be at Big Boy in Wyandotte tomorrow. Come on down and try out those all-new burgers and loaded fries, that new Slim Jim. It's now the Big Jim. How about the Bacon Blue Burger and the Chili Cheeseburger? Got to try those and load up those fries. Baked potato fries, nacho fries, chili cheese fries. Satisfy those taste buds with us tomorrow at Big Boy in Wyandotte.
Big Boy.
Welcome back to the program. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We got the barista Fletch. I'm giving Fletch a nickname. We have called him the barista before. He is going to be known as the barista. He's okay with it. You're okay with it, Fletch? Fletch was a barista in his former life. And he is just taking this role here at Woodward Sports and excelled.
I'm going to stick to calling him Fletch. Side note.
He likes the barista.
All right, Fletch. So side note with that. Now, if you're asking me, am I up in arms if Blake Corum's not in New York? I'm not up in arms, but that he's not in New York. But if you're telling me he doesn't belong, I got to say you're wrong. I stand on everything that I said when I said last segment. He belongs in there, but I'm not up in arms with it because I know he's not going to win. So that's more so where I'm at with that. He belongs there, but I'm not up in arms because I know he's not going to win. So it doesn't matter. The
great JB, Jeremy Bryant, in our audio booth as well. Just want to make mention of him here today. Big part of the show.
What's he got on today? I can't see. What's he got on?
City, the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, look at
got
that.
The Punisher on.
Yeah, Punisher, Golden State Warriors.
Well, Punisher.
Did you guys see the video of Steph the other day?
No.
It's fake.
Oh, it is?
It's fake.
All right.
Naz is just getting trolled by Elon Musk's Twitter
what
can I tell you?
every now and again.
But that was a huge debate when it first came out. You saw in the full court shots that he was making.
Oh, yeah.
Because he made them, it was 5 makes in a row, but then the net moved all different ways. One was a bank shot, one, so it was like you believed it to be real, but I know he's a machine. I know he's the best shooter ever. Ain't no way in hell if that was real. We've seen that before.
He was doing it from the side of the court.
Oh my gosh.
Nike did that with LeBron in 2005, 2006, maybe.
But I'm going to pretend he did it.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, it's Steph, so.
It is.
Guys, if you're just joining the show, we're talking about the 4 Heisman finalists. And, of course, locally here, Blake Corum. A lot of people, it was trending on Twitter, a lot of people talking about how they are just outraged that Blake Corum does not have a seat in New York this year for the Heisman Trophy. Not that he would win it or anything like that.
I just think it's everything that's gone behind it. When you look at Michigan's the number 2 team in the country. To start the season, people had Michigan the highest. They had them 14. Mm-hmm. They didn't believe in Michigan. They didn't believe they could carry over from McDonald leaving, from Gaddis leaving, and insert Blake Corum. They said Hassan Haskins is gone. They just said so much about Michigan. And at every turn, at every game, whether it was Cade or JJ fighting, whether it was Jim Harbaugh making decisions in the game, all of those things, there was one constant. Mm-hmm. There was one consistent. And that was Blake Corum, number 2.
Again, though, Brave, to me, if you are talking about 3 running backs winning this award in the last 20-plus years, and it's, Derrick Henry and Reggie Bush and Mark Ingram, you have got to do something special. And I just don't know if what Blake Corum did was this crazy, special, generational type effort this season. Now, maybe if he would have played in that game and a half, in the second half against Illinois and against Ohio State, maybe you would have gotten that. But sans that, man, that'd be real tough. And I think that stats do matter when it comes to this award. Kenneth Walker did not get invited to New York last year.
Well, that was stupid.
And it was stupid. But again, to me, you've got to be better than Kenneth Walker to get invited. He was not that this year.
Okay, so what special did Max Duggan do?
No, don't blow him.
No, Maz. But before you get mad, relax.
I'd rather you just talk about Stetson.
Just hear me out. Hear me out. Before you say that, what special did Max Duggan do? What special did Stetson Bennett IV do? What special did C.J. Stroud do?
I'll tell you.
So, like, if you want to say special, I understand.
Here you go. You
I'm
ready?
Listening. I'm ready.
You don't have to do anything special at the quarterback position to make it to New York.
Okay.
You just have to be special at every other position. You have to be special at running back. You have to be special at defensive end. Right. How Jalen Carter is not in New York over Stetson Bennett, because basically what this award has become, guys, is you take the best player on the best team,
right,
and
forget about him.
That's it. No, you take
the best player on the best team is Michigan's Blake Corum.
Again. But he didn't play that Ohio State game. Otherwise, he would be. And that you take the best player or the quarterback on the best teams. That's what this award has become. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to take the quarterback over anybody else.
2 of those 3 quarterbacks, one didn't make their conference championship. One lost to their rival, and the other one lost his conference championship in Max Duggan. The only person, like, so you got 2.
But you're still talking about top 10 teams.
3 of the 4 guys. C.J. Stroud, they didn't beat Michigan. They didn't make it to the conference. Caleb Williams, they got pounced in the conference championship against Utah. Max Duggan, they got beat in overtime by Kansas State. I get it, but you're talking nothing but losses. Like Blake Corum's team, at least they won the Big Ten. They're 13-0.
Fair enough, but you've got the quarterback of the number 1 team, the quarterback of the number 3 team.
I didn't say anything about Stetson.
Okay, but I'm just saying who's in there. The quarterback of the number 1 team in the country, the quarterback of the number 3 team in the country, the quarterback of the number 4 team in the country, and the quarterback of the number 10 team in the country. That's who's there. And I don't like the fact that it's been a quarterback award.
Did you see what Charles Woodson said today?
What did he say?
They should make it a Woodson Award. He was laughing, and I forgot who it was with. It might have been with Desmond. He's like, "What's this Heisman now? Oh yeah, let's make the Woodson Award so other people besides quarterbacks have a chance to win it." So he's basically saying what you're saying about the Davey O'Brien Trophy, which goes to the best quarterback.
And how Hendon Hook, I think Hendon Hooker has a bigger gripe than Blake Corum.
He didn't finish the year, and he lost 2 games. He himself lost 2 games. Blake Corum has not been a part of any losses. Hendon Hooker lost 2 games. They got blown out by Georgia, which he didn't look good at all. I understand the Alabama game, but they look horrible against Georgia. Then they lost again to South Carolina. Was it that they got blown out by South Carolina? It's another loss for Tennessee. So you got 2 losses. He can't be in it. He can't. I mean,
responsible for 37 touchdowns, man. That is a lot of touchdowns, man.
In 2022, just like you told me, quarterbacks are all the top quarterbacks are always going to be responsible for 40 or more touchdowns. Caleb Williams is responsible for 45 touchdowns. Like Max Duggan's responsible for 43 touchdowns.
Not
Like all these guys are responsible for a ton of touchdowns because none of their leagues play defense.
Fair enough. So, Matt, just quickly, give me. We did not get your take on Corum not in New York.
I got it quick for you.
Okay.
He belongs in the 4. He belongs.
Who do you take out?
I take Stetson Bennett out.
Okay.
First of all, he's like 80 years old. Second of all, you got to already get 3 quarterbacks in there. Make it look good at least. The guy led the number 2, number 3 team in the country to an unbeaten record. Without him, those 200-yard runs and all those games, who knows? They might have slipped up and lost a game.
And don't forget, Chris Winkie won the Heisman at 28.
I know.
Chris Winkie was 28 when he won the Heisman.
How old was Tebow?
Tebow was he had an old spirit. Tebow was a sophomore, I think, or junior, sophomore or junior.
I just think, look, Ryan. When it comes down to it, like you said, it's the Heisman is a hell of an award to win. It is a hell of an award to win, but like you said, it's a personal thing. I'm sure Blake Corum, when it comes down to it, he don't care as long as they win it. As long as they win a championship.
Perhaps, but you know who does care is Desmond Howard and Cardale Jones. So some back and forth here. So
Ohio State?
Cardale Jones, Ohio State national championship winner.
Yeah,
Cardale Jones.
JT Bear got hurt.
So what happened was this. Desmond Howard tweeted out the 4 finalists of the Heisman Trophy And this was Cardale Jones' quote tweet to Desmond. Says, just keep them slick-ass comments to yourself up on stage and let these well-deserving young men enjoy one of the biggest prestigious moments a collegiate athlete can have.
Hold on,
Congrats and good luck to all 4 finalists.
Time out. You reading that as Cardale Jones is hilarious. Like, it started off like Cardale, and then it got into Ryan Ermanni.
Oh, so just you want me to read it like Cardale?
Read it like Cardale, man.
Just keep those slick-ass comments to yourself up on the stage.
Who's Cardale? Marvin the Martian?
No, man, I don't know. I'm not doing
just
any
keep
impressions.
them slick-ass comments to yourself on the stage. The well-deserving men enjoy one of the biggest prestigious moments a collegiate athlete can have. Congrats and good luck to the 4 finalists.
I don't understand, like, if you go back and look at Desmond's tweet, Desmond Howard didn't give any sort of, I mean, he just literally, he said this year there are 4 finalists for Heisman Trophy, and then listed them and then said thoughts.
Ryan, you got to understand.
Please.
2 things. Thing 1, that comment that Desmond said last year during the Heisman when he was talking to Aiden Hutchinson about the Ohio State game, that didn't go over so well with the Ohio State.
What did he say?
It was something to the effect, because they got beat up in the game, the Ohio State-Michigan game. They got beat up bad or something. It's something he said. It was quick. It was a little catty.
Someone on the chat will definitely remember
exactly
what he said.
If you were on the other side of that, if we were Ohio State, I wouldn't have liked that comment either.
Mm-hmm.
But we weren't. We're Michigan, so we laughed at it. It was cool. So they've had 365 days to think about the comment. Thing 2, what did Michigan just do 2 weeks ago? They beat Ohio State's ass again. Now Ohio State's program is in shambles. Well, it was before they backed into the playoffs. But now Ryan Day, everybody's talking about firing him. So now when Cardale sees this, everybody's mad at Michigan now from Columbus because we're now on top. Michigan's on top. They got Heisman Trophy guys, et cetera, et cetera. This is nothing but hate and envy. That's
so
what that is.
Desmond responds to Cardale Jones then and says, really, Cardale? It's really one of the biggest and most prestigious moments a collegiate athlete can have? Tell me more. Oh, man. Then he says, you should have played more school. Oh, man.
That's tough. That's
Desmond woke up and chose violence.
And that's how you bury somebody. There's nothing that he can say after that, because not only is everybody laughing because they understand what he was doing there when he was trolling. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Desmond Howard is one of the biggest Heisman Trophy winners ever because he's the one that actually struck the pose. So he's got that going for him. And then Cardale Jones outside the national championship. I mean, he didn't play in the season. He come back the next year, and then he barely got drafted. So you got to be quiet, Cardale. Like you can never come at a guy in a situation that's his arena. You can't go after Desmond in a Heisman Trophy arena. That's his arena.
Oh,
that wasn't very smart.
I thought Cardale was going to be a good quarterback going forward. I thought he was. Yeah. I missed that one.
Yeah, I mean, he was tall. He had a big arm. Yeah, because, I mean, he had a huge arm. He was tall, but he wasn't mobile. He was kind of stiff. He didn't play much at Ohio State as well, so I was indifferent on him, if that makes sense. I didn't know if he was going to be good or bad.
And speaking of not sure if they're going to be good or bad, guys, we didn't have a chance to talk about Deion Sanders yesterday. He is going to Colorado, and he is really making an impact very early. We'll tell you what's going on in Colorado, talk a little college football with Deion Sanders in Colorado, and then Dan Miller, Lions Talk, in hour number 2 of the program in about 30 minutes from now. So we got a lot to get to. Hope you're sticking with us here on WoodwardSports.com, Fox2Detroit.com, and the Fox 2 app. We're going to take a break and come right back. More with us. But first, a message from Custom Health Centers. Get your customized approach to weight loss. Think of all the ways weight affects your health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Custom Health Centers has had over 20,000 success stories. I believe I am one of them.
Definitely looking good,
we
man.
are going strong, down 14. I'm really having trouble with the last 6 pounds that I want to lose, but I am getting there. It's a slow process. But Custom Health Centers takes the willpower out of weight loss. If you would like your customized approach today, call 844-789-THIN. That number again, 844-789-THIN.
I love Woodward. Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Looking to buy, sell your home? Well, look no further than my man Michael Phillips at Keller Williams Legacy in Dearborn. He is the man. 23 years in the game, so I think he knows what he's doing. Whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy and sell, invest will be his number one priority. Give him a call, 313-403-0011. Again, that's 313-403-0011. Game on.
Hey guys, if you're watching on woodwardsports.com, go over and click on the shop tab. If you're looking for a great holiday gift, there are a ton of items on there, a ton of fun items, and for the most part, relatively cheap.
Yeah.
Considering what the price of
the holidays.
shirts
Won't
and
break the
shorts and
pockets.
sweatshirts and everything is. Great holiday gifts. Wear the emblem proud. Woodward Sports. We'd certainly appreciate it. Let's see if we can maybe sell 10 items today.
You know
How
what
about that?
Maddie wants? Maddie told me, hey, Dad, I want that black pullover with the pink Woodward Sports on it.
Oh, that's great.
Maddie asked me for it. Isn't
That's
that
great.
cute?
We're certainly proud of what we're doing here at Woodward Sports, and we could not do it without each and every one of you. So we thank you for doing your part in helping us along here as we continue to grow. Hell, in the last year, we just popped up on Fox 2 Detroit.com.
Hey,
Fox 2
that?
app. How about that?
Look at
Let's
that.
see what happens next year as we continue
excited.
to come here.
I'm also excited for the interviews from now on and moving forward with the show. So now I have my little, if you guys didn't notice, I have a little fan down here
Oh,
now. So
yeah.
So we no longer need the AC in the wintertime here in the studio. So the sound should be a little bit better. I appreciate sticking it back for that because I need my air.
It was my idea, I will have you.
But I appreciate
Thank
you,
you, buddy.
Thank
Trying
you
to
so
take
much.
care of you.
Thank you, bud. Appreciate that.
That's right. Happy wife, happy life, happy
is
work, wife, whatever, however you want to
Exactly.
do it. You know it.
Yeah, I'm wearing the pants over here, buddy. I got you, fella.
Guys, Deion Sanders, okay?
Prime time.
We have not really commented on Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State. So let's do that first before we move forward. Shocked, not shocked. I'm not shocked he left Jackson State. I'm shocked he left them for Colorado. Now, that was my initial thought. Now I think it's a pretty darn good fit. I understand it a little bit more. Braylon, what was your initial thought? Now what is it?
My initial thought was, how do you leave Jackson State and what you've built there to leave for Colorado? I believe that he built something special in Jackson State. I believe he helped the HBCUs so much. I mean, you look at now, they're on literally 7 times a week. 7 times a year. They're on ESPN. They're on Fox. They're doing some things. He helped bring awareness to the HBCUs. He helped make more money donated, more airtime, et cetera, et cetera. So that's been a great working relationship. I just thought his next step would be his alma mater. It'd be Florida State. It'd be a school on that level.
They are rolling right now, though.
I saw
Florida
them.
State,
Joy Thomas. Those guys they're different. But yeah, I'm just somewhere along the lines of that. Not Colorado. Like when you think Jackson State and HBCUs, like Colorado is the furthest white thing from HBCUs, and with Deion's been there, Jackson State. Now that I've had some seconds to kind of like analyze what he's been able to do, in the next 2 years, there's going to be a lot of carryover, a lot of changeover with the Pac-12. I think the Pac-12 is kind of wide open, if you will. And Deion's, he's a unicorn, and people use this term unicorn, but it's a very fitting term. Deion's not somebody you fit players to fit his scheme. He's not somebody that you bring him in, it's a good fit. It's Colorado, and Deion can fit there. Everybody's going to fit in with Deion. Like, Colorado is now going to adapt to fit what Deion can do. And I think Joe Klett said it best. There's a lot of money that comes through Colorado. There's a lot of money that comes through Boulder, Colorado. A lot of bread people don't think that they have access to. There's a lot of bread out there, some old money as well. So I think, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I could see this thing working. I don't see it failing at all. I see it working to the tune of Colorado being in the playoff at some point in the next 3 to 4 years.
Do you think he looked at the Big 12 and thinks I think it's going to stick around, or at least it's going to get sucked into another league? And he looked at a team like TCU. Hey, if they can make the Final Four, I can get this team to the Final Four in a couple of years.
That's a good point, man.
I mean, he's bringing his own people. He is bringing his swag. I mean, look, just on Twitter alone. Fletch, put this one up. Read that, Rye. On Twitter alone.
On Friday, Colorado had 58,000 Instagram followers. Today, it has over 133,000. That's a 129% jump since Deion Sanders was named head coach. We should check it out right now because that was yesterday. What were we at? 133,000?
Yeah, you take a look at that. And I would say this.
I bet you it's going up on Twitter as well.
The more you look at it, it's going to be interesting. Like
150,000 now.
There you go.
So people are going to follow Deion. Parents are going to follow. Kids are going to follow
He's
Deion.
A magnet.
And if you want to be honest, if you want me to say the words, black parents and black kids are going to follow Deion. You're talking top 5, top 4 recruits in the country. They're like, whoa. Because Colorado is a big name. Colorado is a huge name. Go ahead.
Just to expound on your point that you just made, here's the actual data. Let's throw it up. So since Deion Sanders was named head coach of Colorado, a source in Colorado tells Josh Newberg that over 200 recruits and portal transfers have reached out to him in the last 12 hours. Some are 4- and 5-star caliber guys. Deion Sanders has a chance to make some noise before signing day. NIL money is also rolling in. I wanted to back you up on your point. Yeah.
No, that's 100%, and it's what Deion Sanders brings. He's a unicorn. Like, he's not coming there to make it a black school. He's not, and you heard what he said. He said, like, I'm not coming here to make it HBCU. Do you know what the H in HBCU stands for? I'm coming here to make it a winner. I come here to win. Yes, I'm a black man, so I can never run from that. But I'm coming here to win. He's bringing his quarterback. He's announced Tim Shador as a starting quarterback. A lot of players and a lot of people in the uproar online. Like, how can you come here and say this, that, and third? That's because your program was 1-11. If your program wasn't 1-11, Deion Sanders wouldn't be there. Those players would still be getting coached by the guy that was there after Mel Tucker. But guess what? I don't remember his name because neither do you.
Here's Deion Sanders saying what exactly Braylon just said.
There we go.
Son, Junior, stand up. He does all our social media, so all the stuff you've been seeing, that's him. The profanity is him as well. Is it? Where's Shador? Shador? And this is your quarterback. All right? He's going to have to earn it, don't believe that. He's going to have to earn it. Yeah, the quarterback's going to have to earn it. The safety made me mad, so I didn't bring him. His brother. He's in my doghouse right now.
You know, that's real, man. Look,
all he knows how to do, Ryan Ermanni, at every level in life, at every genre in life, at whatever it is. If it's marriage, if it's spiritual, if it's the Hall of Fame, if it's Florida State, all he does, Ryan Ermanni, is W-I-N. One more win and he would have been the World Series MVP. All Deion Sanders knows how to do is win.
And you say that, so, you know, a lot of people were, I think a lot of people were shocked that Deion left Jackson State because of the impact that he was making at that university, in that league, in that community, for young black men and their families. He was really bringing to light. I mean, he was on 60 Minutes a couple of weeks ago, even shedding light on some of the facts, on some of the factors that black athletes and black students at these universities have to go through, and the facilities and everything like that, and the upgrades and the money that is needed to keep these institutions rolling. So a lot of people did not like the fact that he left. But Deion leaves. That's what he does. If you just look at his career, he played on 5 NFL teams. One of the greatest players to ever play the game. 5 NFL teams. How do you let him walk out the door? He played on 4 baseball teams. So he is not used to staying in one place for a long period of time. And I got news for you. Within 5 years, he ain't going to be in Colorado either. Whether he wins or loses, and it might even be less than that. So we'll see what happens. But just because your stay at a place is not long doesn't mean your impact can't be everlasting. And I think that's what Deion Sanders has done. I'm excited to see what it's going to look like at Colorado.
I'm excited to see what it looks like, too. Look, Ryan Ermanni, like, you outgrow places, but you leave your mark, you leave your footprint, you leave the things you've done. Every place that he went, when he was in the NFL, when he was with the Falcons, before they didn't want to pay him, before they didn't want to give him what he was worth, he turned that team around and helped them get better. He and Andre Rison and Jesse Tuggle, he leaves there. He goes to the 49ers. Well, guess what they do? They win a Super Bowl. He goes to Dallas. What do? They went back-to-back Super Bowls, and then he goes to the Washington Redskins, now the Commanders, and he helps build up Champ Bailey, who's a young DB. Now he's a Hall of Fame.
He went to Washington?
He went to Washington, and then from Washington he went retired, and then from there he went to the Baltimore Ravens. And then he went to Baltimore Ravens. That's where he finished, because I actually played against Deion my rookie year.
I forgot about those guys.
My rookie year, I played against Deion. So everywhere he's been, he's a winner. You outgrow places. Like, he's going to outgrow Jackson State. There's nothing more that he can do for Jackson State. There's nothing more he can do for the players down there, the school down there, the systems down there. Now he's on to Colorado. And now he's going to leave his footprint in Colorado. And sooner or later, just like you said, he'll be outgrowing Colorado. He'll need the bigger, and maybe he'll come back down to Florida State or somewhere. But he's going to keep leaving his footprint everywhere. But everywhere he leaves it much better than the place he found it in.
Let me play for you Deion's first meeting with his team, who won't be his team for much longer. Here is his first meeting with the Colorado Buffaloes football team.
We got a few positions already taken care of because I'm bringing my luggage with me. And it's Louis. Okay. It ain't gonna be no more of the mess that these wonderful fans, the student body, and some of your parents have put up with for probably 2 decades now. I'm coming. And when I get here, it's gonna be changed. So I want y'all to get ready to go ahead and jump in that portal and do whatever you're gonna get. Because the more you jump in, the more room you make. Because we bring kids that are smart, say that, smart, tough.
And the reason why you have direct dialogue like this, the reason why you have these conversations, Ryan and Maya, is you want to let these kids know, hey, look, I want dogs. That's what I expect you. I know this is the Colorado Buffaloes, but we want dogs. We want people that welcome competition, and we want people that if they want something, they want to fight for it. They're going to fight to be the starting lineman. They're going to fight to be the starting quarterback. They're going to fight to be on this team that's going to change. If you want things easy like they've been, jump in the portal. That's what the portal is here for. Everybody got a little upset with that. I'm going to tell you like this. Deion is here to change the culture and to win games. When you're 1-11, you have nothing to tell the new head coach until he shows you otherwise. But as of right now, they have to listen to him. I've seen coaches come. I remember when Jim Tressel got to Ohio State. I still remember his press conference that went viral. Back then it wasn't viral, but we saw it local, nationally. And he talked about one thing. He said, oh, and by the way, we're going to beat that team up north. That transcended Ohio State, and they did just that.
In 200 and something days, you will be proud of these men when we play.
You're coming for change.
No doubt about it. And Colorado hasn't had a winning season, a COVID year aside, since 2016 when they were 10-3. They
almost beat Michigan.
They haven't won more than 5 games in any other year since.
I haven't remembered Colorado since Cordell Stewart and Michael Westbrook.
Absolutely. Let me ask you guys a question, though, before we get to the Lions at the top of the hour.
Chris Brown.
Deion Sanders, Colorado. More likely to have success at Colorado? And by success, I mean, how about this? Make it to a playoff Make it to a playoff, because 12 teams, that's not like some crazy outlandish thing.
Yeah.
4 teams, I think, would be. 12-team play. That's how I'm defining success. Make it to a 12-team playoff. More likely for Deion to have success at Colorado within 5 years, or more likely to have absolute chaos and be out of there? I want you to answer me that question coming up. But first, a message from Moneyball.
Check out Moneyball Sportswear. It's your one-stop shop. Whether you're the latest looks in apparel and athletic gear, or you need uniforms for your high school, AAU team, etc., Moneyball has it all. Go to their website, and that's moneyballsportswear.com. My dude, Desmond Ferguson, is fire. He's legitimately spent over the last 10 years getting the right quality. It's not about quantity in life. It's about quality, and their material is second to none. Grab some of these. I got a couple of these jogging suits. I'm going to start wearing them out now. It's cold outside. They're easy to throw on. They feel good, and they look smooth. Moneyballsportswear.com.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Market, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
With the holiday season here, Swiss Insurance wants to remind you that to insure those gifts, those jewelry, those collectibles, because in the last 2 weeks, Swiss has saved its clients on an average of 26% on their insurance premiums while increasing their coverage. I don't know about you. That sounds like a hell of a holiday deal to me. So that's a lot of money freeing up giving for the season. If you want to give some money, make sure you do it the right way. Sign on with Swiss Insurance Group before you do.
Fox 2 sports director and voice of the Detroit Lions, Dan Miller, will join us in about 25 minutes from now, somewhere in there. Talk about those that football team that is playing damn good, man.
You mean the team that's favored over the 11-1 Vikings?
Are they favored now?
They're favored. +2.
Wow, that is incredible. Should have won the first one.
Speaking of that, I got something ready. So.
Can't wait for that. But I do want to talk about this, Deion, just a little for a couple more minutes, guys. Just I want your honest assessment as it stands right now. Do you anticipate success at Colorado for Deion or chaos for Colorado at Deion? Because there's a part of me that says Deion doesn't know how to fail. Deion has had success everywhere he's ever been as a player, as a coach. And why would that change? When you're steadfast in your beliefs, you know how to do things, you just get them done. Why would you doubt a guy like that? On the other hand, I'm sitting here saying to myself, at Jackson State, there was an advantage that Deion Sanders was Deion Sanders. Will he have that same advantage now when you're going up against billionaires from USC or high-flying offenses all over the country like Tennessee or Alabama or Ohio State? I mean, that is the type of kid you are competing for now. You're not just competing against Grambling. You're competing against Ohio State and USC and Tennessee and Michigan. That's the type of kid you're competing for.
Deion Sanders isn't Grambling. He isn't Jackson State. He isn't those schools. He's Deion Sanders from Florida State. He's Deion Sanders from the Dallas Cowboys, back-to-back Super Bowls. He's Deion Sanders, the greatest DB in the history of the game, and he has that national, international cachet. He's prime time. Now, with that being said, Colorado got billionaires. Colorado's got some of that money too. They got some of that old school gold money from the 1800 gold rush. They got some bread out there in Boulder. I've been out there. I've stayed at Cherry Creek. Nice area out there. They have money out there. You saw those. You saw that text. You saw that tweet. Look how many guys are interested in jumping in that pro. There's 4 and 5 star. That didn't say 4 and 5 star. Black kids, Ryan. That said 4 and 5 star kids, period. Those kids want to come to Deion. Those parents know who the hell Deion Sanders is. And I was with LeVar Arrington, who's coached with Deion Sanders in those in the Army games, the high school Army games down there in Texas. Said Deion always hires the right people around him so that he can learn. What he doesn't know, he has those people. Remember we were talking about certain coaches. Hey, make sure you get guys on staff that can help you in the spots that you don't know. That can be, maybe it's offense. You bring those guys in that are offensive gurus, or you bring in guys that are defensive gurus and you allow them to help on staff as consultants, or you make them your own, your defensive coordinator. I think he's going to do it the right way out there. So I think success for me, Ryan Ermanni, within 3 years, I think he'll definitely be one of those 12 teams in the playoffs, and I expect to see it a lot because teams want to come and play for Deion, and Deion won't accept anything less. And also, he's going to implement team and discipline into those young men that come out there at the University of Colorado Boulder.
He's bringing in Kent State's head coach, and I don't know the guy's name offhand, but that's going to be
the offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator, and he's looking to get Mike Zimmer, former Vikings head coach,
that's his boy,
as his defensive
from Dallas
coordinator.
Yeah.
Yep, they are tight.
As thick as thieves.
That is a terrific start for him. I give him 3 years. How long did it take Lincoln Riley to put USC back on the map?
1 year.
1 year. I know they were a little bit better.
Get your quarterback.
They were better than Colorado.
Yeah.
You need your QB, and you need a receiver like Jordan Addison as well. That helps. But Colorado within 3 years will be knocking on the door.
Don't underestimate. I won't say this.
Maybe less.
The last thing I'll say is don't underestimate Shedeur Sanders. That's Deion Sanders' son. The son that plays quarterback. Don't underestimate because he went to Jackson State. You can't look at him in the same light as Caleb Williams. This kid has been playing in the same 7-on-7s, the same Pop Warners, the same quarterback schools. Deion has had his son in all those things when they used to live in Texas, way before the Jackson State move, his whole life. So he's been against those quarterbacks, Caleb Williams and Max Duggan and Stetson Bennett out of Georgia. Well, Stetson's 800 years old, but he's been going against those quarterbacks in camps for a very long time. So he does have that cachet around him.
I will say this too. You know, we talk about black head coaches in the National Football League. We rarely do it in college. There aren't a ton of black head football coaches in Power 5 teams. I mean, David Shaw just left Stanford. So you're talking Deion Sanders, Mel Tucker, and is there another?
Maryland's head coach.
Maryland's head coach. What's his name?
Maryland's head coach.
Maryland's head coach.
Syracuse's head coach.
Yeah, Dino Babers.
Dino Babers.
Okay, but I mean,
but to your point,
my point is we're digging. We're digging.
Yeah, we're
scrapping.
You know why? It's because you see more on TV. Tyrone Willingham is still a coach somewhere. I think I saw.
But not in the Power 5.
But you see black coaches a little bit more because there are a couple more. Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame, good call. Because you see more of them, but when you go on the scale, it's more of them considering. It's more to the NFL. But when you look at one out of 164 Power 5 schools, you're like, okay, there's 10.
Right. What are we talking about? 6 out of 60 teams?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is something. So I think that is an advantage, too, for Deion Sanders. And hell, I think that's an advantage for Mel Tucker, a lot of guys, a lot of parents out there.
We just lost Herm Edwards from Arizona State.
This is true.
Who is gonna remember the number one player in the country last year that went to
with Jackson State.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he went to Jackson State. Where's he going now?
You
think he'll
probably
stay
go to Colorado.
Is he going to Colorado, or will he go to Florida
Alabama?
State?
Or Alabama.
His initial commitment was to Florida State.
Yeah, but okay, well, not Georgia. Georgia. I think he goes to Colorado. What do you think? JB?
Oh no, I was just gonna chime in and say Maryland's head coach is Mike Locksley.
Mike Locksley. That's
Mike
right.
Lowry.
Loxley.
Mike Loxley.
Like I said, Maryland head coach.
He's a good head coach, though.
He is. He's good.
He's taking. You see what he did against Ohio State this year? What he did against Michigan?
Heck yeah, he's hung in there.
I got something against Maryland, though. I got something against
Stephon Diggs.
No, my guy Ricky Court had to fall on the sword there. My buddy Ricky Court had to fall on the sword there. He was the strength and conditioning coach when that player lost his life in a conditioning workout that he had nothing to do with. So he had to take the fall for it. But there's a lot there, and also that is why I don't care for Heather Dinich too much too, because she was reporting stuff on that just was not true.
She's trying to keep a job.
Yeah, right. So that's another story for another day. But either way, guys, we're going to transition to some Lions talk next. I'm very excited about this football team, and again, this playoff talk, is it real? Is it not real? There's obviously going to have to be some things that happen, because I think that the reason why this is so fun right now is because the playoffs are alive. You are playing for something. If this was just regular games that were meaningless, that they were winning at the end of the year, I wouldn't be as excited about it. But I do feel like in this NFC this year, there is potential for the Lions to win out or win 4 or 5 and make the playoffs. Is that real? Is that fake? We'll just have to see. But we can talk about it, and we can have some fun with it, and that's what we're going to do.
Right now?
Sure.
You guys ready?
What the hell?
You ready for this, Mass?
I'm always ready.
You ready for this time? 2014 Carolina Panthers, 7-8-1. 2010 Seattle Seahawks, 7-9. 2020 Washington Commanders, 7-9. Do you know what all three of these teams have in common?
They made the playoffs.
Do you know how these teams made the playoffs? They won their division.
Mm-hmm.
They won their division. So now the game that everybody needs to point to when they talk about the Detroit Lions, stop mentioning Buffalo. Stop mentioning the Philadelphia Eagles game. Don't mention Seattle and Geno Jackson when he came here. You simply mention the Minnesota Vikings game that you pissed away in the fourth quarter when you're up 14. But the good news, Detroit Lions fans, you got the Minnesota Vikings coming up next. You'll play the Chicago Bears, and you'll play the Green Bay Packers. If you win those 3 games and the Minnesota Vikings lose another one, you guys win the NFC North. Just like my man, you win the NFC North.
What about
Minnesota?
Yeah,
I'm saying the Minnesota, because you got to beat them once. Yeah. And then you beat the Bears, you beat the Green Bay Packers, all winnable games, and then hope the Minnesota Vikings and Kirk Cousins, they do the Kirk Cousins deal, and they trick one off because it is Kirk Cousins. Worry about winning the NFC North. Win those NFC North games. Worry about getting in that way. That's how you get in. Just like Tom Berger, a.k.a. Jake Taylor, said, you win the whole effing thing.
So basically,
I wish we had just transferred to the NFC South.
I know, man. I know.
We win the NFC South.
But
you can win the NFC North this year.
The Vikings would have to lose all of their games.
No, they have to lose one.
The Vikings are 10-2, so they'd have to be 10-7. Vikings would have to lose
5 of 6.
All 5. They'd have to lose to the Lions, obviously, and then they'd have to lose to the Colts, Giants, Packers, and Bears.
Or Bears and Lions.
Right. Well, yeah. So I mean, I don't know if I don't think the North is a realistic expectation, just because you need the Vikings to not win again for the rest of the season to get to identical 10-7 records. So that would be difficult. But it's definitely something you should work towards. And sans the NFC North division, I'm going to show you how the Lions get in to the playoffs in a wild card. We'll do that next, but first a message from SMA.
The sports marketing agency does an amazing job of providing content and information on their platform, thesportsma.com, to help you deal with substance abuse as well as mental health. Everybody is trying to understand the space of mental health nowadays. It's okay to not be okay. But when you're not okay, where do you go to get the information? Where do you go to have the conversations? Where do you go to pass on along the information if it's not for you? Sean Jordan and SMA do an amazing job. Go to thesportsma.com.
Loves Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's Mass for Cousins Maine Lobster, cousinsmainelobster.com. Woodward Sports is brought to you today by Cousins Maine Lobster. Check out their food trucks rolling around the city, offering the tastiest lobster rolls, lobster tacos, and more. Go to cousinsmainelobster.com right now and search locations to find the Detroit schedule or download the app to order ahead and earn some points. cousinsmainelobster.com.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the program. Dan Miller coming up in about 10 minutes from now. Guys, the Detroit Lions are still alive for a playoff berth. I'm going to tell you how they can get there. The New York Giants, Seattle Seahawks, Washington Commanders, and Detroit Lions. 4 teams. There are 4 teams vying for 2 spots. The Lions have a lot of making up to do. They absolutely have some making up to do, and their margin for error might be 0. Yeah. They might have to win out 10-7 to get even in.
So happens when you go 1-6.
That tie between Washington and the Giants last week screwed the Detroit Lions. It just royally screwed the Detroit Lions because
why do we still have ties?
I don't know. Why do we still have ties in the NFL?
Just play 15 minutes.
Can you imagine
of overtime?
Can you imagine spending $200, $300, $400 a seat in an NFL game? Basically, your day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you just saw a tie. Like, would you be satisfied?
It's all
Hell
good.
No. Well, I mean, if neither was my team, I would. But if it's your team, if it's your hard team, the team that you cheer for, you go to see, I would be pissed, with the Detroit Lions. But they got a great opportunity.
They do.
And you keep talking about they have a great opportunity to finish the season off the right way. I mean, you were talking about 10 wins when nobody was. I mean, here they do have a shot. Now, it's a tough shot. I mean, you got to play against Minnesota, who's 9-2, playing good ball. I mean, you saw them play against they played against the Jets last week. Jets had opportunities in there, but the Vikings kept them out the end zone at the end when it mattered. So playing against those 2 teams, but you also have the Packers, you got the Bears, and you have the Carolina Panthers. So there you go.
Fletch, let me see the Lions' remaining schedule. Okay, so you got Minnesota at home,
New York.
Then you go at New York,
Carolina.
Yep, Carolina, Chicago,
and Green Bay.
So you've got 5 games. You got to win at least 4 of them to even remotely be in the conversation now.
That'll put you at 9-8.
That'll put you at 9-8. Now, I think 9-8 would have gotten it done if the Giants and Commanders didn't tie.
Right.
Now,
Perhaps.
Now I think you solidly need 10 to get you in. 9-8 might still, but that 10th win should get you in.
How Lion-esque would it be if they go 10-7 and not make the playoffs?
So let me show you Seattle's. Trek, okay? This is the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I think they are in. I think Seattle has one of those 2 locked up, and I'll tell you why. They play Carolina, and then that Jimmy Garoppolo injury really hurts. And it hurts the Detroit Lions because this is one I considered a loss for Seattle going up against San Francisco. But now I think you got to go with the Seattle Seahawks.
I disagree. One, you have to remember, other than Geno Smith and Tariq Woolen, the best player for the Seattle Seahawks has been who? It's been none other than K9,
right.
Kent Walker III. Well, guess what happened? He got injured this past weekend. They almost lost to the Rams because they couldn't run the ball. So I don't think it's necessarily a given that because Brock Purdy's in there, they still have the best defense in the NFL, including Micah Parsons' Cowboys, including the defense for the Eagles. They have the best defense in the NFL. They still have so many weapons on offense. It's almost the same similar situation as being in there with Jimmy G. Jimmy G was not a Pro Bowl type quarterback. Yes, he's super cool. He's Jimmy Porno. He's Mr. Relaxer, Mr. Chill, and he knows how to get the job done. But why can't Brock Purdy be that guy to get the job done as well? Sometimes if you have guys that don't think that they're Baker Mayfield, where they can go out there and do whatever they want, guys that understand the system, like, hey, I got Brandon Ayuk, I have Deebo Samuel, I have Christian McCaffrey, I have George Kittle, not to mention, now it's time for Deebo Samuel to earn that money. Hey, we tried to do it this way and not get you involved, try not to run you and use you as much as we did last year. You know what? Now it's time for us to use you like that so that we can ensure that we're still the team. San Francisco is still over Seattle for me.
Seattle is only winning 2 out of those games.
Okay.
So that's 9 wins.
So this is the question.
But they have the win over the Lions.
Tiebreaker over the Lions.
Correct.
That's a problem. So give Carolina and the Rams a win. You know, them a win. If you want to lose to San Francisco and Kansas City, fine. And then the Jets is a toss-up. The Jets is a toss-up. That's their 9th win or their 10th win.
They are home for the Jets.
Are they, so let's just say at worst 9-8.
Correct.
9-8 Seattle.
Possibly 10-7.
Possibly 10-7. They get in over the Lions. They beat the Lions head-to-head. They beat them. All right, let's go to the Washington Commanders.
Sitting at 7-5-1 right now.
7-5-1. So the Commanders also with 5 losses. Again, I cannot believe that the Giants game, whatever. So I think the Giants, you almost want.
That's a primetime game.
Who do you want to win that game?
I want the Giants to win.
Give me the Giants first. Let's do this. Give me the Giants first. Sorry. Because I think they got the bye. This is how we need to do it. So the Giants at 7-4-1.
Right.
Giants at 7-4-1. I'm going to say loss to the Eagles. Okay?
Yep.
We're going to go loss to the Washington. Loss.
You think?
Yes. We're going to go.
So that's 7-6-1.
At Minnesota, loss.
That's 7-7-1.
Win.
8-7-1.
Loss.
8-8-1.
8-8-1. They're not getting in. I said they weren't getting in. I don't think they're getting in.
Okay.
All right. Now give me.
Now take Washington.
Give me Washington. Okay. So New York is going to be a win. Now, mind you, 7-5-1 are the Commanders. How about at San Francisco? There's that San Francisco
Loss.
Jimmy G creeping up on you again.
Loss,
Braylon?
Win.
Hold
on.
Washington.
Yeah, that's a loss.
Okay.
Loss.
So that's 1 loss for Washington. I think by the time they play the Browns,
Deshaun will be back.
I'm going to say loss to the Cleveland Browns.
That's a home game for Washington.
Deshaun is going to be back, though, for that.
But do the Commanders have a real home field advantage?
Well, they're home. It's still home.
Let me tell you guys.
Taylor Heineke.
You get their own locker room.
If you're a Lions fan, you better be wearing the number 4, the Cleveland Browns. You are going to need this man to beat Washington that week, bar none, if you got any chance of getting in.
All right.
So
here's the thing that sucks, not to cut you off, is that last week down there, Dallas Cowboys could pull a move that I see a lot of teams do, and you already know what that is. They could sit their guys.
They could. They absolutely could. I don't know if they will, because they'll be solidly in the 5 spot, probably.
You don't want to be 5. You want to try to beat the Eagles. The only way Dallas gets a home game is if they beat the Eagles.
Yeah,
otherwise, guess what? Tampa Bay gets the 4 spot, even though with a losing record. The Dallas Cowboys could win 12 games, and Tampa Bay could win 8, and still they have to go to Tampa.
Welcome to the NFL, baby.
You know what? You know what you need? You need Philadelphia to lose one of these games here.
Yeah.
You need Philadelphia to basically lose one of these games so that the week 18 matters.
That needs to work. That needs to be for the division.
For week 18 to matter, Philadelphia's got to lose a game. Who could they lose to? They can lose to they're not going to lose to anybody. Oh, they can lose to the Cowboys. They play the Cowboys on Christmas Eve. You need Dallas to win that game. But again, okay, so back to Washington. Win, loss, and then I'm going to say loss to the Cowboys. That's how you do it.
Cooper Rush, baby.
So Washington comes down to 8-8-1 as well. 8-8-1. That's the only way you can get in. That's the only way you can get in.
Funniest thing about it is that loss, as of right now, that tie by Washington and the Giants has hurt the Detroit Lions.
Big time.
In the end, it might end up saving the Detroit Lions because they may jump both of these guys because of that loss, because of that tie.
Yeah.
Because of that tie.
Maybe Washington and the Giants tie again.
In this scenario, look,
why not?
In the absolute perfect scenario that I think we laid out, Seattle has one of these spots locked up at 9-8, but probably 10-7. And then the Giants and the Washington Commanders, you've got sitting at 8-8-1. So the Lions need to go 4-1.
They need to sweep.
They need 10-7, man. They need 10-7,
and it's not impossible. If you look at right now what the betting is, the betting line is on the Detroit Lions giving points against the Minnesota Vikings, who are the number one team in the division. They know that Maz calls this. Last year you called it. This year you called it. What do the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions do every year?
They split.
That's why the Minnesota Vikings are dogs. Because Vegas knows that.
Wouldn't you guys just be sick to your stomach, want to peel your fingernails off and vomit if the Lions win out, go 10-7, and that tie
That's what I said.
pushes Washington to 10-6-1?
Whatever.
Oh, my gosh. It's disgusting.
And they beat Washington.
Oh, it's disgusting.
That makes it worse.
I think it will be my first time experiencing a loss or experiencing pain for the Detroit Lions. That would be the first time ever.
Guys, we're going to have Dan Miller next, talking Lions. But first, a message from the Folding Warehouse.
All right, guys. Folding Warehouse. Football and bowling. 2 ways to play this great game down in Hamtramck. Chris Hunt. Make sure you ask for him and tell him Woodward Sports sent you down there. 2 ways to play, $12. That's all it costs you. For unlimited play, open play, all day long you could be there. Or you can have a private lane reservation for $120, but you get the lane for 2 hours, and you put 10 or 12 people on a lane. A great beer menu, over 100 beers they offer. The $2 mystery beer machine, any drink you want out there as well. Wine, beer, the whole 9 yards. Any food you want too, because you control it. You bring your own in or have it delivered. Get your full on at foldingwarehouse.com.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff-A Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff-A Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, JB, what's going on,
what's
buddy?
up, Ryan? I'm here to talk to you about Planet Fitness and how they
Tell me all about it.
Studio sponsors here at Woodward Sports. But not just that, they're also home to the Judgment-Free Zone. Where
No
you can work
judgments,
out
JB.
where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Forget this. $10 a month.
Only $10?
Yeah, only $10
gosh.
a month. Or you can always do yourself a favor. Upgrade to the Black Card with unlimited guest privileges, that hydro massage, and so much more. Join In Club today, or you can always check them out at planetfitness.com.
Hey, welcome back, WoodwardSports.com, Fox2Detroit.com, the Fox 2 News app. Thanks for watching on those platforms. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, Fletch, and JB here with us as well. It is time now. We've been doing this every week at about this time, and we're so happy to do it. Talk to the voice of the Detroit Lions and, of course, Fox 2 Sports Director. You can follow him on Twitter at Dan Miller Fox 2. The aforementioned Dan Miller, everybody. How you doing, Dan?
There he is.
Dan, audio, are you muted again? Are you firewalled again?
Oh, no.
No, this is so great.
No, Dan.
I love it. It's just the greatest thing. I mean, it has become a thing here.
Send me another number, Fletch.
We're going to give you another number, Dan. I'm sorry. I just...
Why do we do this to this man?
Oh, man. This poor guy.
Dan's like, man, I liked it better before the the merger.
This poor guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dapper, we'll get you another number.
He's going to be hiding in the janitorial closet again, man. I feel so terrible.
No kidding. But one of the things, Braylon, we're talking about, and we're going to hit it with Dan, it's just how much fun we're having watching the scoreboards and looking ahead at different team schedules and everything like that. I mean, how great has the last couple of weeks been as just a fan of the Lions?
It's been fun. It's been fun to watch. You know, it's kind of like last year with the University of Michigan. You start seeing them win games, and once you start feeling you start feeling it change. I think for the Detroit Lions fans, like watching it now, you're watching this thing take shape right before your eyes. I think especially for people that have been fans as long as Maz, as long as you, fans for a very long time, you're watching the thing take shape. You're watching the young guys that you drafted actually come into play, actually come into fruition. They play the way that you envision them when you're calling their name during the draft. You're watching Aiden Hutchinson play like that. You're watching Kirby Joseph play like that. You're watching Aleem McNeil. You're watching Houston. I mean, you're watching these guys play like that on the other side of the ball. You're watching your Steele and Amon-Ra St. Brown become a consistent playmaker, a Pro Bowl wide receiver, if you will. You're watching Jared Goff, watching DeAndre Swift. You're watching all this, and then you're also watching them finish games in the fourth quarter. The big thing with the Detroit Lions, it doesn't matter who they play, doesn't matter what they play. Maz, what is it always? Don't worry about the first half. It doesn't matter. Even the third quarter, it doesn't matter. It's because you know in the fourth quarter, the Detroit Lions will let you down. Well, in the last month, Ryan Ermanni, they're not letting you down in that fourth quarter.
They're not letting you down. Fletch, we good? All right, let's bring him back. Dan Miller, how you doing, bud? Sorry about that.
What's up? Hey, guys. Hey, good to hear you. You guys got a lot of commercials, man. That's awesome. I would say Chad Johnson's getting rich, but he's already rich. He's just getting richer.
You got to keep the lights on.
You got to keep the lights on over here. There's only one guy getting rich over here, Dan. I'll tell you, it's the guy to my right. I mean, he makes all the money here. Yeah, right. Hey, Dan, you know, one of the things we were talking, I don't know if you had a chance to peek in on us before you came on, but we were talking about the schedules of other teams, and teams are competing against for a wild card, and it's just so fun to watch and scoreboard watch and be in this thing in December. What changed, do you think, from 1-6 to now 4-1 over the last 5?
I think defensively they're playing a lot better, and I think you can see that they're not losing the turnover battle. When they were kind of going through that dip Goff was a little careless with the football. They weren't taking the ball away from the offense. I think Goff has tightened up big time, and I think that the defense has gotten to the point now where they're making game-changing plays. They're taking the ball away from the opposition. I think, to me, those are the biggest things. They're not committing penalties and giving free first downs and free yardage to teams. You know, there's some basic things that you can do to keep yourself in a game in the NFL. Win the turnover battle, don't commit stupid penalties, and don't give the other team short fields, big turnarounds, big emotional takeaways or points with their defense, which they were doing during that 1-6. So, look, I just think they're playing a better, cleaner brand of football. They were scoring like crazy over the first month. They still weren't winning, but now they're scoring and they're playing better defensively, and we're not seeing guys running wide open in the secondary every week like that Miami game was just torture watching that thing with those two receivers just running with defensive guys 7 yards behind them.
Yeah.
Just things have changed.
Yeah, Dan, you're 100% correct. Or even in that Minnesota game where you're looking at the end, they scored a touchdown, and there's nobody absolutely around. The miscommunication, things are starting to clean up. Dan, let's get back into the ever so old, ever so overdone conversation. That is Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. You watch Jared Goff. The one thing that I've noticed is Ben Johnson, this is his first year kind of getting his offense, his identity, what he sees, what he envisions. Jared Goff's the guy that's learning this offense with him. Jared Goff is the guy that's seeing his vision come into fruition with him. How important is it for Jared Goff to finish the season off strong and he be Ben Johnson's guy going into the future?
Huge, Braylon. They can't come out of this year with any questions about who their quarterback is. It's either Goff or we got to find somebody. That's them speaking.
Yeah.
I think Goff has got to make his statement over this last 6 games like other players on the team do too. I'll be honest with you. I think Goff has played really well. He's not been the reason that they've lost a lot of these games. Now, look, he had a couple games in there where he, as I said, got careless with the football. But when they're leading the league in scoring over that first month, and you look back at it, you say, okay, if that defense wasn't the 32nd ranked team in the league, if that defense wasn't leading the league in points allowed, that record would look different, and probably what we think about Jared Goff would look different. But it's like we were doing the Sunday night show, and we started talking about Goff and quarterbacks you draft and stuff like that. And I'll be honest with you, I felt dirty when it was over. Guy just played a great game on Sunday, and I think you got to respect that. And I think he's got to keep that up. But I think right now he's making a statement about who he is and what he should mean to this team. And yeah, to your original question, it's vitally important that over these last 5 games now, he continues to play well so that they can believe that he is the guy.
And Dan, how much of that playing well do you believe, is the fact that Amon-Ra is back healthy? Josh Reynolds was back. Swift was back. DJ Chark was back.
It's everything. I mean, look, when they came into this season, guys, they came in feeling like they had surrounded Jared Goff with the weapons they needed to be successful. Really good offensive line. That's been the case all year long. And then those wideouts, enough weapons that he would be able to, utilize different guys, whether it was Hawkinson when he was here, to Amon-Ra, to Chark, to Reynolds, to Khalif, to whoever it was, that they would have enough. And then a dynamic running back who's, a game changer in DeAndre Swift, and then you're hammering Jamal Williams. And we didn't see that together a ton, in particular when they started to kind of lose early, but they still scored a lot of points. But to your point, it's huge to have this team getting healthy now. And Dan Campbell said it to me last week. They're getting healthy when a lot of other teams are not. A lot of other teams are going in the opposite direction, and the Lions are as healthy as they've been all year. But to be fair to Goff, yeah, I think it's only fair to say, how do you evaluate him when he's got his weapons, which he did this past Sunday?
Very true. You said 3 words, and instantly one player came up. You said wide receiver, you said health, and you said weapon. Jameson Williams came to mind. Talk about Dan Campbell's implementation of him into the offense, moving to last week and moving forward.
And please, no special teams.
Yeah, no, I think. Look, last week, and he said this to me on Friday when we were doing our coaches show. They just wanted him to put his helmet on and put his shoulder pads on and run out on the football field, get a couple snaps, and get his legs under him. And I think this week you'll see him take another step. I would guess significantly more involved in the offense, and over the next 3-4 weeks become a big part of the offense. But look, He hadn't played football in 10 or 11 months. I think they wanted to just make sure that they're not rushing this thing, that he's comfortable, that he gets the appropriate practice time. But, and look, Braylon, you lived the life. I think for him, and in their eyes, it was just about getting him back out there this past weekend in front of a crowd, taking snaps, doing whatever you have to do, going through warm-ups, running a game and getting through it and getting to Monday. And now I think you'll see it incrementally start to go up. And look, guys, you're talking about a major piece of the puzzle here for this football team. I don't know how significant his contribution will be this year. We'll all figure it out. But in the long run, they believe he's a massive piece of the puzzle. They had him as the best receiver in this past draft. They traded back up to number 12 to get him. This is a big part of what they want to be and where they want to go.
Hey, Dan, I wanted to get on the other side of the ball here with James Houston. I mean, Jackson State, Deion Sanders, James Houston, only second in the rookies for sacks behind Aiden Hutchinson. Was this guy a steal? I mean, is this guy the real deal?
We're gonna find out. But let me say this. Number one, the sack he had the other day, that hop, we're gonna have fun with that tonight on the news. Because
yeah.
I mean, it was just ridiculous. It was so cool to see him do it. It's like a kid out there.
Yep.
Just coming off the line, and then he's jumping in the air. But here's the thing. That bend that he showed as he got around the tackle and to the quarterback, you can't teach that.
Man.
That's something God gives you, and he's got that. Now, it's not always going to work, and you have to have some other moves that go along with it, and that will dictate your question about is he legit, because they'll figure that out.
Sure.
Just go back and freeze frame that move and how low to the turf he is, and look how low that offensive lineman has to get to try to get any piece of him at all. And then he's just out of that explosively into the quarterback, and Lawrence goes down. There's some things there you can't teach. But again, the offensive linemen in this league are really, really good. So he's got to have some counter moves coming up here too. But look, it's exciting to think about what he can be, and it's exciting to watch it come to fruition.
Hey, and we get Josh Paschal going here. Maybe that triumvirate
Look at that,
he
Matt,
drafted.
look at that play.
Yeah.
Look at that play where
Yep.
he got the sack, and look what Paschal did. Paschal was right in Lawrence's face as well. If Houston hadn't got him, Paschal
Yep.
might have, because he just took the guard and deposited him back at the quarterback. Paschal is a big, strong dude that, again, I think it's going to be exciting to see where he goes. And guys, he's a second-round draft pick. He should be a good player. So but he's shown some flashes of being that powerful force in the middle that teams love to have.
And that money badger, how about that? You might have found a kicker.
There you go.
Hey, Dan.
Took a while.
Yeah, right. Could have used him a couple of weeks earlier. Do they have to win 10 to get into the playoff? I mean, we're playoff crazy here. I know you got to just keep winning. But would 9 get them in, do you think?
I think you're asking a lot with the teams that are in front of them to have 9 get them in. It almost feels like it's going to take 10. And as everybody has talked about, the tie between Washington and New York certainly didn't help them, because it means you got to finish not even with them to get a tiebreaker. Now you got to finish 1 win ahead of them. But look, I think you just got to keep winning. My guess is, odds are it's probably going to take 10. I think it's a tough at 9 with the short distance that some of these other teams have to go to get there, and you need 4 more. So I think my gut is you might have to run the table to get in, but you know what? This is easy to say, guys, and it's cliche. You can't worry about it. You just got to go out and beat Minnesota this weekend, because you realize that if you don't, these conversations go away,
right?
Or the odds of these conversations meaning anything go away very quickly. So the only thing you can do is what you've done for the last 5 weeks. Go out there, play the best football you can. They've won 4 of them. Maybe should have won the Buffalo game. Tough loss there. But that's what you have to do. You got to just keep checking boxes. Can you keep stringing these things together and keep legitimizing, what people are beginning to think about this team? And that starts with tough game against Minnesota on Sunday.
Absolutely right. 1-game season for the Detroit Lions moving forward. Dan Miller. Let's talk about it. We got to switch gears. You know what I'm ready to talk about. The playoffs are locked. TCU and Michigan meet in the Fiesta Bowl, and Ohio State, those jokers backed in, they meet Georgia in the Peach Bowl. Give me a quick thought on both games, Dan.
I think Michigan caught a break, because to me, Ohio State's the third best team in this tournament. And the committee didn't want them to jump TCU. Committee wanted to respect TCU in their schedule. Committee wanted to respect TCU in the fact that they had to play an extra game. I get all that. But if you simply take the teams on their merit this year, to me, it's Georgia, it's Michigan, it is Ohio State, and then it's TCU. Michigan, I think, got it. I think the team that gets screwed here is Georgia. Georgia's the team that ends up playing Ohio State when they should be playing TCU. Look at all the numbers. All the numbers tell you that TCU is the fourth best team in here. Michigan should win that game. To me, that's a game they should win, and then it gets interesting because I assume Georgia will beat Ohio State, but I think Ohio State got their wake-up call, and now we're going to see what can Ryan Day put together. What can he do with some time now? Because I think the pressure's really on him in this game coming off that loss to Michigan. And this is a kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card for him. But Georgia's really good, really experienced, and really battle-tested. So I anticipate Michigan's going to be there. I think probably Georgia's going to be there. But I'm really intrigued to see what Ohio State can do now that they've had their egos bruised, wake-up call. And are they really, just as we talked about, a finesse team that doesn't play well this time of year? Or can they be something different against Georgia? Because you have to be to beat them.
I agree with you, Dan, 100%. I've said consistently, I think Georgia's going to beat. I think Ohio State's going to beat Georgia. I understand top to bottom, Georgia's much better, but it's just something in the water. I think Ohio State's going to beat Georgia. That's just my weird feeling, if you will.
I hope it comes true.
I think we got a little intoxicated by Michigan's win, which was great.
Yeah.
But I think Ohio State's a better team than they looked at.
I agree.
And I'm not taking anything away from Michigan's win. They did that to Ohio State.
In
I think
Ohio
State's
State.
capable of playing better.
Yeah, I hope they do. I'd love to see it, baby.
I want it
Bring
all.
it. Michigan, Ohio State, and the Natty. How about it?
Love that.
Most watched
Come
national
on,
championship
man.
game of all time.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, it
I'm
would be.
dying for
Yeah,
it. Hey,
definitely,
Dan,
man.
thanks so much, my friend.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Let's get a win this week against the Vikings. How about this? That line is flipped, too. The Lions now a favorite against a 10-win Viking team.
Yeah, I was a little surprised when it was only Minnesota by 1.5, and then it swings to the Lions. It tells you where the money's going in this thing. So we'll see, guys. Look, I'm watching this team reveal itself, and this will be another case of that. Let's see, can you do it against a team with 10 wins? And they had them in Minnesota, and they let them get away. They got to finish the job this week.
Thanks for doing this, Dan. Appreciate it, bud.
Thanks, Dan.
You got it. Thanks. Check Dan out today. Fox 2 News at 5 and 6, and of course on the Edge at 11, and fox2detroit.com, Fox 2 app. That's where you can see us as well. I got to get to a break. When we come back, Braylon, I want to ask you about Jamison Williams and the one guy we never seem to talk about, that's Amon-Ra St. Brown. I want to ask you about him, but first a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. All month long at Les Stanford in Dearborn, you can get a 2022 Silverado for just $285 a month. That's with less than $2,000 down, $1,995. Also a Malibu for just $225 a month with $1,999 down. Bring in the new year with new wheels. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Hey, it's me. It's Maz for Alta.
Alta Uptime. It matters.
Uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need.
Good morning,
to get
everybody.
the job done. Alta Equipment, that's right. If you have a big project coming up, give Alta Rental a shot at it right now. Give them a call. Alta Equipment, 844-GO-TO Alta. That's 844-GO, the number 2, Alta.
Alta Uptime, it matters.
Check them out up on 96, right?
Yeah,
Heading up
absolutely.
96 West. Alta right there on your right.
Right off your right. Guys, Braylon, I want to mention, because you had talked about Jameson Williams. You have had a similar injury, and, last week we were trying to figure out you activated Jameson Williams. Why only play him 6 plays? But now that you got some context behind it, go through warm-ups, get some plays, get your feet under you. It is something that you could totally be on board with.
Yeah, when I came off ACL surgery, I tore my ACL in December of 2005, which is my rookie year, and then I actually started that following year in September. I think it was September 11th, if I remember correctly. But leading up into that season, leading up into the games, the season starting, in training camp, they held me out of training camp for the most part. Let me start doing training camp with the 2 weeks left of training camp. Then in the preseason games, I didn't play any of the preseason games till the last one. They had me out there. I had the big knee brace on, the big John Joy knee brace with the knee sleeve underneath. I had all that out there. I was running and felt stiff. But they got me just a couple plays. I literally played 5 to 10 snaps. I think I snuck 9 plays. Because once you start to feel it, you want to keep going. You want to
be out there.
Like, you want to keep going because now you're like, cool, I feel it. It's good. And I remember I took my knee brace off and snuck out there without the knee brace on, and I ran a slant. I remember I cracked back on Dante Whitner. Speaking of Ohio State Michigan, I cracked back on Dante Whitner. And
now you get a penalty for that kind of stuff.
100%, because you can't come in towards the play. You can't run towards the ball. But it just felt good. I got about 9 plays, felt good, got the confidence. I knew I could run a comeback. I knew I could run a slant. I could put my foot in the ground and break. I didn't mind mixing it up, if you will. So I think that's what's good, starting to get some of that. And it's the end of the season. You're talking about me, where I had the surgery in January and started in September. You're talking about a guy that had surgery at the end of January, and now he's starting in December. So that guy's a lot more healthy than people think, but they're going to ease him into a nice process. And hell, with these guys fighting for the playoffs, in about 2 weeks, you might see him actually have one of those games where maybe 4 catches, maybe 60 yards or 70 yards or so, because they're fighting for something and he is healthy.
I want to ask you, Maz, and we do this all the time. We talk about, Jameson Williams, and we mentioned DJ Chark, and Tom Kennedy. We never talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown. We never talk about him. I don't hear anybody ever talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I'm trying to figure out why. Is it because he's not sexy? Is it because he's a fourth-round pick?
He's all sexy.
Well,
have you seen him?
But I mean, he just.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? He's not flashy out there. He's not flashy out there. He doesn't catch the 50-yard go route.
He's not a blazer.
He's not a blazer.
He's not 6'5".
Not a top pick.
He just catches everything.
All he does is catch everything.
That's
11 games now in his first 2 seasons with 8 or more catches. The first rookie to do that. Only the second player to do that since 1950.
Bray, what did I bring up to you last year about him?
You said he's a all-pro type player?
Yeah. I said last year, that guy's an all-pro. And he's only going to get better. Once he gets the speedster in there, a guy that you could count on in Jameson Williams, hopefully that's going to be the case. That's going to make him even more dangerous. I don't know, man. He's like, I'm not going to say he's Cooper Kupp yet.
Yeah.
But hell, he catches everything.
He's a damn good receiver. I mean, he reminds me of a Hines Ward type guy. Look, Hines wasn't a
There
blazer.
you go.
Hines wasn't a blazer, but Hines was a very dependable type guy. Hines is going to get you 1,100 every year. Hines isn't dropping anything. Hines is going to block for you. He's going to block for the running backs. He does everything that needs to be done, and he does it at a high level. Shockingly enough, Hines Ward never made a Pro Bowl. Like, go look that up.
It's crazy.
Go look that up. Hines Ward never made a Pro Bowl. Like, shocking enough. But when you look at it like that, he's that type of player. He's damn good. I mean, you look at him this year. In the last 4 games, he has 7 or more catches in the last 4 games. You look at the last 6 games, he's got 55 yards or more. And 3 of those games have been 100-yard games. So he plays at a high level. I mean, hell, he's only has 1 drop this year. I've seen him drop 1 or 2 passes. Now that he's been the starter for the whole season, you're 12 games in. Play hurt early on. That's where he kind of kind of puxed around a little bit because he was hurt. Now he's back healthy. You see him. Now, he's a guy you could depend on. Like when I want to go to war with somebody, when I want to put a team together, I want to construct a team as a head coach, as an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, special teams coach. I want guys I can trust. I want guys that are going to be the same person. I want guys that are going to come to work the same way. I want guys that are going to be on Sunday the same way. I want guys that no matter if it's first down in the first quarter or whether it's fourth down in the fourth quarter, those guys are going to be the same on every play, and I know I can trust them. That's what you get out of Amon-Ra and St. Brown. He's definitely a Pro Bowl player. He's arguably the best player on the Detroit Lions team when he's healthy.
And you see him take a beating and he gets up. I mean, he took a beating last week.
Yeah.
A beating. Every week he's limping off the field, and then he comes back on a play or two later. And you can't keep him off the field. And obviously, look at his training, with his dad, Mr. Universe himself. And his brother, Equiminius, is playing good.
He scored a touchdown a couple weeks ago.
Travis Trilla in the chat says, St. Brown example of the NFL scouts failing. How do you miss on a guy like that? Like when you work him,
thank you.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, see, and that's not an example of failure. I will push back on that, and here's why. When you're working a guy out, like you're watching the guy 1 reps, you're watching the guy. He's clearly not 4.3. He's not a 4.4. He's maybe high end 4.5. His routes are pretty good. They're okay. He's not very tall. He's not very explosive. So when you're watching this, and then he didn't dominate at USC. So when you're watching and you're looking from that point of view, what about that suggests that he should go higher than the 4th round? The other thing about that is when you're watching, when you're doing these things, you can't see how good a guy is going to be inside a system. You can't see how good a guy is going to be playing for a certain quarterback, playing behind, with DeAndre Swift and the makeup of the team. What he's doing for the Detroit Lions, you couldn't have accounted for that scouting.
Totally.
Yeah, he's not 6'4". He's not a blazer. You can't account for that. That's not a failure.
And that's why you're here. I'm glad you had that perspective.
Yeah.
That's absolutely the case. You can't really understand how a player is going to fit with a quarterback or with a coach in a system. Can't account for that.
Hey, in a few minutes, we're going to find out what team or teams put in a waiver claim for Baker Mayfield.
We'll do that, and I don't know if this is shocking or not shocking. I don't like that word, but Tom Brady looks like he has no desire to retire anytime soon.
Why should he?
He's playing football next year.
This is the divorce tour.
Yeah.
This is the divorce tour.
He is not giving this thing up. We'll talk about that too. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment on your dream home up to $200,000. Head to Lady Jane's. They're open 7 days a week, several locations throughout the Metro Detroit area, several more around the country. Find one near you. Lady Jane's. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward and Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Downtown Detroit is all decked out this holiday season.
Decked out, JB?
Yeah, decked out. It's got the return of the Cadillac Lodge and the Monroe Street Midway.
Monroe Street.
Yeah, the Midway's got the giant slide, those winter bumper cars, and of course that indoor arcade. But you can also grab a drink at the Lodge before or after any home game of the Wings, the Lions, or the Pistons. So shop, eat, and play downtown all winter long. And remember, you can always check them out at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Deckedoutdetroit.com, baby. Hey, wanted to ask you, did you have an opportunity to see Tom Brady last night in the comeback win against the New Orleans Saints?
I did.
Brady and the Bucks now 6-6. They were down 16-3 late in the fourth quarter in this one. Leads them to a touchdown, 16-10.
Dennis Allen can't coach.
They get the ball back. First of all, Mark Ingram with a terrible mistake to go out of bounds before a first down.
He wasn't even going to get hit. He just didn't want to get touched.
Had no idea where his head was. Said it makes him sick to his stomach.
I told you, when it starts to get into December, when you get later on in the year, especially when teams are not really necessarily playing for the playoffs, so guys think about it and they approach it differently. Guys aren't acting like that when the playoffs are on the line. Guys aren't acting like that when it's September, when it's October, when it's early November. Guys are taking all that contact. They're taking all the smoke. But now it's like, season's over with. I'm good. I don't want to get hurt necessarily. Now you go out of bounds. That's the different mentality in December.
So Tom Brady and the Bucs get the ball back. They score a touchdown with about 30 seconds to go in the game, and it gets called back for a holding. So what does Brady do?
The most penalized player in the NFL.
So what does Brady and the Bucs do? No problem. Scores with 3 seconds to go. 8 seconds to go the play started, but scored with 3 seconds to go into the game. Tom Brady, through the latest game-winning touchdown pass of his career, it marks the largest regular season fourth quarter comeback in Brady's career.
Are you ready for this? That was holding by the same player again on the touchdown.
They didn't call it.
They didn't call.
They couldn't. They didn't have the heart to call it.
They should have.
But Brady and the Bucs 6-6. They'll get a home playoff game, and I will tell you this much: for as much as everybody's talking about Brady and the Bucs, and he hadn't lost anything, man. They're gonna host a playoff game, and that is one team you do not want to play in the playoffs. I'm sorry. All bets are off when that postseason begins.
Can we just take time we need to take time and tell everybody that Kirk Gibson's getting his haircut right behind Maz, but we need to really take time and just marvel at the brilliance that is Tom Brady. Like, sometimes the phrases they just, you've heard them so much that it's we get he's the GOAT. Oh, he's the greatest of all time. Oh, it's TB12. Oh, yes, Mount Rushmore, it's him and everybody else. No, it really is. Like, it really is. For someone to continue to do this at this level, this type of sport for this long, you got to marvel at it, because just saying the GOAT doesn't really do it justice. Like, Tom Brady, he's the most feared man in NFL history. Well, not named Lawrence Taylor.
Right.
Not named Lawrence Taylor. For Maz jumps up, which he would actually be 100% correct. But he's the most feared man when all the marbles are on the line. When you're on the other side of Tom Brady, nobody's at ease when you're on the other side of Tom Brady. Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Joe Montana, some of those guys, you're like, we're good. We got good enough lead. Or, you know what? But like with Tom, you have never been at ease. I've played against him. I've seen leads where you're like, we up 18, but it's a minute left. He still got a shot. It's time. Somehow. You got to take your hat off to him. With him and LeBron James, dude, I don't want to lump him in to Tom's credit, but LeBron 26, 6-6 in year 21 is freaking amazing.
If I was smart last night, I would have went to my bet app.
Yeah, down 16-3,
and I would have just bet him to win, because once Mark Ingram ran out of bounds on a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, he got 1 yard or whatever the hell it was. He was 1 yard shy of the marker. He just lost his head. There was 6 minutes to go at that time. They were up by 13. I'm like,
it's a J.R. Smith moment.
I'm like, this game's over.
Do you see
this game is over.
Anything.
Do you see what Sean Payton said too? By the way,
I did.
Sean Payton, former New Orleans Saints quarterback or head coach, on Tom Brady's broadcast. Sean Payton says Brady's potential football broadcasting future. Who says Tommy's coming to Fox right away? Clearly, we don't want to get another team in trouble. So remember that Brady
Dolphins.
and Peyton were going to go to the Dolphins this year, and then Brian Flores blew that whole thing up, and that's where you have investigations and
that
this,
was
that, and the
that
other
was the
thing.
boss of the Dolphins, Stephen Ross.
Brady ain't going nowhere. He is coming back. He's going to play next year. And can you imagine if he did sit out this year, he'd be the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers right now.
His dream.
If Jimmy G goes out. And he may even be the quarterback of the 49ers next year.
Never know.
If they don't re-sign Jimmy Garoppolo or whatever the situation with Garoppolo's
Can you
contract
imagine Tom
is.
Brady with that? Can you imagine Tom Brady with those offensive weapons of the 49ers
No.
and that defense?
I don't even want to think about it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like, Tom Brady might play till 50.
I don't even want to think about
He
that.
might, and
You don't have to pay him. Tom's like, look, I'll pay you to play.
I mean, I do think Tom Brady's going to play next year. I think he's going to play for the 49ers, and I do think Sean Payton's going to coach next year. Sean Payton will coach for the Chargers.
He's still as good as anybody.
He loves living in Los Angeles, Sean Payton. He is out there right now
Brandon
working for
Staley
Fox.
out of there?
He loves living in Los Angeles.
see that.
That's where he wants to be. So he'll coach the Chargers.
I know he won't be on Fox, though.
No, he'll coach the Chargers, and Brady's got that deal
He's hardly
waiting
been
for
on
him when
Fox
he's
as it
done.
is.
He is not done anytime soon. And that's just how I feel about it.
Did you see? Let's go around our league. Can
we do that next?
Yeah, we got a how we did segment. You got to do a how we did segment.
What?
How we did over the weekend.
Oh, we didn't do that yesterday?
Oh, we didn't do that.
we got to do
yesterday.
that. Let's do it next. But
that's 'cause
first
I got
message
cheated.
from Chili Peppers.
You cut me off yesterday.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Chili
If you-
Peppers
If you
tan.
join the Pepper Club, you're going to get a great tan. You're going to get the cleanest salons in the D. And if you join that Pepper Club, they're going to save you $5 against any competitor on unlimited tanning and more. Of course, that is the place to go. They will take great care of you there. All competitors, forget about it. Chili Peppers Tanning is the place to go. They are your vitamin D headquarters, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters is chilipepperstanning.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Time to talk about Centron. Centron, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings, and now for a limited time, they have linked up with WoodwardSports.com and created their own six-pack, limited edition six-pack. Go to CentronWorld.com/Red Wings to get you one of these things. They are amazing. Cranberry, by far, is my favorite, but the sugar-free and the classic are not bad as well. Get these, drink it, live it, energize yourself with Centron.
All right, gang, final segment of the program. Running out of time, so Tom Mazawey, we will come to you now for the remainder of the NFL Around the League segment.
All right, let's do it, shall we?
Very good.
All right, that sounds awesome. The
However you wanna
Titans
do
today,
it,
you know what
Maz.
the Titans did today?
What did they do today, Maz?
The first place Titans.
What did they do?
They fired their general manager, John Robinson.
For drafting Malik Willis?
I don't know about
No.
that. Maybe. But I think it was mainly from the Philadelphia game last
A.J.
week
Brown.
when A.J. Brown was running wild on him, and they got Traylon Burks as their top receiver, and their quarterback could hardly complete a pass. I don't understand what the Titans' thoughts.
What is your thought there?
What is your thought pattern on trading your best receiver when you have nothing left?
To draft a guy who you hope is
good.
as good as the guy you have.
Oh, you know what's funny about this? I remember having this conversation, like consistently all throughout the offseason, when everybody's talking about, oh, we're going to move ourselves from Devontae Adams in Green Bay because we're going to draft the receiver. Oh, we're going to remove ourselves from Tyreek Hill in the Chiefs because we're going to draft the wide receiver. Oh, we're going to remove ourselves from A.J. Brown in Tennessee because we're going to draft the receiver. The guys that you're looking for, you already have. A.J. Brown showed them that they made a terrible mistake. Devontae Adams, look at Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's up for Offensive Player of the Year. And yes, you give me, well, Sky Moore is coming out of the shell. I know he has Travis Kelce, but they don't have anything else outside of that in the Chiefs. And you look at Traylon Burks, I ain't see Traylon Burks catch a pass all year, and I ain't for a fact. Stop getting rid of these players because you're going to have to pay them. Some of these guys you got to keep because they are that good.
He's no good.
How about the Rams?
How
the
about
Rams are 3-9. Did you know that is the worst start ever for a defending Super Bowl champion?
Wow.
And we're very happy about that. But that's history.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
This is true. F them
History.
picks, right? I bet they wish
F
they had
them
them picks
picks.
right now.
That's right.
And let's go to our, since I'm just talking on my own here. How'd we do last
what it
week?
is.
How'd we do last week, Ryan? You want to read how we did?
I'm on top again.
There you go.
5-3 week.
Dang
Moved
it.
to 53, 36, and 5.
I cannot
goodness.
get to 500 to save my life.
My goodness.
You're getting there, man.
I keep getting cheated, though.
How are you getting cheated?
Listen, it's just a phrase. Like, I'm not serious about it. It's just what I say.
Lions, Jets. I
got cheated in the 05 draft.
Man.
I'll tell you that.
Oh, man, I took the Commanders, didn't I? Darn it.
Yeah, we all did.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, very good.
No, you took the Giants, Ryan.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh,
That
good.
was one of your wins.
Oh yeah, home
dog.
Home dog in division.
Correct.
Home dog in division.
I took the
Correct.
Lions.
Yeah.
You guys took the Bears. That was your mistake.
But that was a 20-19
No,
game
Yes.
late.
No. I knew I got one. You gotta give me another win.
No, buddy.
Yes, you do. What did we say? We said if Aaron Rodgers plays, I had the Packers.
No. That was 2 weeks ago with Justin Fields in Chicago.
Yeah, it was the Packers versus Chicago.
No, it was 2 weeks ago. The Bears,
Oh, yeah,
the Bears, and whoever the hell they
it was,
played.
yeah.
And I gave you the win that week. I promise you. I have.
I believe.
I got it
okay,
all.
relax, man. I believe.
Hey, last thing here. We're counting down the minutes here. Do you think Baker Mayfield will be picked up by a team? I'm hearing rumors the Rams would pick him up just to spite the San Francisco 49ers. Although John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan say, oh, no, we really haven't talked about picking him up. Come on, man. You got Brock Purdy as your quarterback. You really want to ride with him?
Maz,
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You don't have to apologize. I just don't think you understand the type of mentality Baker Mayfield has. Baker Mayfield has not really reached like the bottom because he keeps getting opportunities. Like if this was the following season, then yes, you pick up Baker Mayfield because he's experienced not being on the team, not knowing his future uncertain, having to change his tune, if you will. Hey, he's been atrocious this year for Carolina. It's not a good team,
he has.
but he was atrocious. He was bad, and now you bring him out to this situation where you guys still have a chance to win the Super Bowl or at least get to the Super Bowl. I wouldn't put Baker Mayfield in that situation because all he's going to do is blow it away. He's going to mess it up for you.
Well, the Texans might just pick him up for the hell of it. So
There you go.
We'll see.
It's not bad.
Whoever picks him up owes him $1.3 million.
That's not bad.
All right, gang. Good stuff. Love everybody. Braylon, get us out of here today. Big day for us. Good job, man.
Big show, man. We appreciate Dan Miller, man. Another smooth show by you guys. JB, Fletch, you guys on fire right now. Appreciate you dearly. Having a lot of fun.
That's it. I'm done.
You're not even going out on a high note. You're going out on a low note.
Hey, let Max, you get us out of here.
I had a good day today.
It was
now
a
I'm
show.
done talking.
You had a good day until 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, now,
You start off with
now
that
I'm
Michigan
done
State
I didn't
stuff.
realize
That
you
was
were
a
done
little-
5 minutes ago.
That's a little touch and go, man. Go back early on in the show. Watch me and Ryan argue, man. He was supporting Michigan State early. I don't know if I
too
like
much
that.
talking today. I talked enough.
You talked enough?
Talk.
Hey, look, man, we love you guys. We appreciate the support. We are out of here. See you tomorrow.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.